Welcome to Geek Tea Time. This is going to be fun. And why? Because we have the rare opportunity to hang out with none other than Gaelynn Lea. Hi, Gaelynn.
Hey, thanks for
Hey,
having me.
hey. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. And thank you to your assistant, Carrie, for helping us schedule and set this up. This is absolutely awesome. And it's just for fun, relaxation. It's not an interview. it's
Yeah,
you've done a couple interviews, right?
yeah, a few. No,
Including
I'm
one.
excited for this. This is a cool format.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
We plan on doing this probably about once per month, and we've got. I've got 9 hours of questions for you, but we're not going to do that. I've got some questions for you, and we got a couple others here, who you just met right before we started. So let's make this an international affair, and
yes.
let's head overseas to England with the Candyman.
Hey guys, I'm just here chilling out and hanging out and see how it goes and just taking it from there. Nice to meet you, Gaelynn. And I'm stoked for this. So let's see how what goes on and just take it easy, relax,
Yeah,
chill, and just sip a bit of tea
yep. That's or coffee,
or
depending
coffee.
on
Or
who
coffee,
you are.
or coffee.
Sorry
Yeah.
about
Speaking
that.
of coffee, my tea, by the way, full disclaimer, this is not wine, folks. It's too early in California. Okay, this is a Japanese barley tea that my wife brewed, and it tastes absolutely lovely. However, I think the drink of the day of choice down there at a coffee shop in Alabama with TARDIS Spider just so happens to be coffee.
Yes, I'm having a cinnamon bun latte. I'm here at the Coffee Monster and looking forward to talking to you, Galen. Hello, Candyman. Hello, Grego.
Hey, nice to see you, Terry. That's awesome. So,
That is good.
and
You
and
ladies.
we're all Doctor Who fans too. There's just that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
yeah. So, Galen, let's get started with. Here's a question. Terry and I were talking about this earlier. Um, going back, going back to 2016 with this right here, with NPR's Tiny Desk, it occurred to us that some people may not know what Tiny Desk is. And I'm wondering, could you just tell us what is Tiny Desk and what went down there?
Yeah, so it's an annual contest that National Public Radio in America has. They open it up to anyone who's not signed to a record label. So you basically submit a song that you wrote. You have to perform it in front of a desk. That's like their one rule because they want you to make it for the contest, not submit something you made, 6 years ago or something. And you submit a video, and then they have a panel that of judges. And in 2016, which was the second year they did it, they've done it every year since 2015. In 2016 I won, which was really surprising. There were like basically 6,000 plus applicants from all over the country, every state, and so I really didn't expect to win, especially since because I am not very tech savvy and my video was pretty horrible quality. I mean, it's fine, but it was pretty low tech, but it was the song, it's the song that they're judging, so it was really surprising and really changed my life after that. Like that's when I started performing nationally and internationally, and I was really Minnesota based before that, so really hadn't done any touring at all before I won. So we took it. My husband and I, we've been together for almost coming up on 20 years now.
Cool,
We
congratulations.
yeah. So we decided this was the time. Like if we were ever going to try it to tour, this why not now? So we took it and ran with it. It was a very different life after the Tiny Desk.
Okay, looking at that video, it looked like the audience had a great time.
Yeah,
They were absolutely loving it. So,
yeah.
um, so let me turn this Candyman or TARDIS Spider. You guys have something that you want to
I was
ask
gonna
Galen?
I was gonna ask which countries have you toured?
I have traveled. Well, first Canada, of course, not that far away. Minnesota basically wants to be part of Canada right now, I think. So we're very close. And then We've done England and Northern Ireland and Ireland and Wales, of course, and then France and Germany and Czech Republic and Switzerland, and I think that might be it. I mean, it's not like the widest range yet, but I love traveling. So whenever we get a chance to do it, I try to
So,
make it work.
so from the US or from a Minnesota point of view, how do you find each of the different countries? Because it's like UK and Ireland is slightly completely different to say like the rest of Europe, like
Yeah.
France and stuff. And Canada's going to be similar to America or not so similar?
I would say the UK feels the most similar, I suppose, probably. But I love that it doesn't really feel. The thing I was most nervous about is, I use an electric wheelchair to get around, and so I was like not sure. The first time we went overseas, I didn't even bring my electric chair. I brought a manual, and we had a friend come with us and push the chair so that Paul could carry all our bags, or they could take turns. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. Like, I mean, we went to big cities. That's part of it. I think farther out you go in the country, it might not be as accessible, but I feel like places have gotten better and better. The UK, on the places, but it's not required legally to like make every bar accessible, for example. But the ones that do it, actually, in some ways, I think do it better than some of the places in the US because they really care about it. Like they're doing it on purpose. So it wasn't as inaccessible as I thought. What I love as a nerdy American, can't help it. Like everything's just so much older. I know you hear that all the time, but like it's just there's nothing like that. Like we went to the Czech Republic and we were at Prague, and it's just like everything is so old, and we're just like, how old is that? How old is that? And the guy who was hosting us kind of made fun of us gently. That like you can tell where the Americans are because they're always asking how old everything is. And so that's what I remember the most about every country that's not America or Canada.
Yeah.
It's just that it's so cool to be around history in a way that we just can't be here. There is history in America, obviously, but not a lot of buildings that survived, and so it's just neat to be around it. Yeah, I like France a lot because I'm a French nerd. Like I took French all the way through high school and part into college, so of course seeing Paris was really fun for me. But then the different parts of England, we take the train, look at the sheep from the windows. I wish we had more sheep in America. We don't have enough sheep, in my opinion.
And what cities did you go to the UK?
In the UK, we've done, of course, London. We've done Brighton. We've done Birmingham, Nottingham, Manchester, Leeds, Cardiff. Trying to think. I know we've done other ones besides those, but I'll have to think where. And then we've gotten to lots of them multiple times by this point because we've done 6, I think, UK tours totally. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's been 10 years, so it's not like every year. The last time I went was 2025 in May. So that was really cool. And then Scotland. We started doing Scotland in 2019, and then I went back there. So we did Edinburgh and Glasgow both times. And that was fun. I really liked Edinburgh. There was a jam at a place called the Sandy Bell, and it's like music every night, and you're allowed to technically like sit in, but the first night I was there, it was very clear that the lady in charge was not keen on a random person joining, so I just kind of like sat in the corner until, thank goodness, someone from Chicago was like, "Hey, you won the Tiny Desk, didn't you?" And then she like decided I was okay, and then I jammed for the rest of the week. It was so fun. So yeah, it was it's fun. Lots of good memories.
Now,
do you have a favorite city in the UK, Candyman? Like somewhere I should see besides Colchester, which I want to see now.
I used to live in Nottinghamshire. I used to live in London. It's very weird because each city has its own personality.
It does.
And a completely different accent as well.
Yeah, that's the other thing. One time in Brighton, we're down in Brighton, and a Scottish guy was there, and he was talking to me, and I must have had the perfect amount of Guinness inside of me because like I could understand everything he said. But my friend who was playing guitar with me on that tour, he was just standing there, and after the guy left, he's like, "Did you understand anything that guy had just said?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah, I did." But he had no idea what was happening. It was because all the accents are so different. Well, I like Brighton. It's cute. It's a pretty little Like,
Let's go. You got the accents and you got the language. So you got Gaelic, Scottish,
yeah,
and Welsh,
yeah,
and even Cornwall, which has got Cornish, which is part of England.
yeah. I'd
That
like to
has,
see Cornwall.
yeah, that's right on the south-west coast of England. So right at the very bottom tip of England,
Yeah,
that's Cornwall.
yeah, that would
So
be fun.
yeah, to me, I still like London. I'm still like half my family's from London, so it's a bit like home in between.
I could see that. I mean, we really liked Nottingham, actually. That was our first time last May, and I was
Yeah.
surprised because it's got the like, it just feels so old. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I mean, again, American old things.
there's if you ever go back to Nottingham again and go up the A60, you'll come to a place called Newstead Abbey, which was a old monastery, which ended up being Lord Byron, the poet
Oh yeah.
Byron's mansion for a while.
Whoa. Cool. Wow.
Okay.
That yeah. What it's an abbey you said originally?
Yep, originally an abbey. It's called
Okay.
Newstead Abbey. I sort of got married there, and it's like you won't see it from the road. You have to like go past it, and then you have to like sort of double turn and then go down like a mile to get to it.
Weird. It's
If
so
you ever,
cool.
Gregor, I'm not sure can you pull up Newstead Abbey at all? So
Actually, no,
Cool.
not on this computer. I'm using Firefox today,
okay,
and for some reason tabs don't work with StreamYard.
that
Oh,
well.
weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, yeah, just
but-
Google Newstead Abbey in
Okay.
Nottingham.
I will. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, we there's a guy when we were in Nottingham actually. Wait, no. Yes. There's a bar. Is that the place? Is it Nottingham with a bar? Oh, I'm getting all my names mixed up. You know the doctor, the fourth doctor. What the heck is his name again?
Tom Baker.
Yeah,
Baker.
Tom Baker's son
Yep.
owns a bar in Nottingham, I think.
Oh, really?
And
Really?
we went there. It was Nottingham. We went there, and he's at the bar. He's the owner, and I don't want to be like, hey, like that's annoying, right? So I tried to just be cool, but then right before we leave, I get this sense like I need to walk by him. So I like went to the bathroom, and he's like, oh, you're here again, because we were there the second night. It was after my show, and he's like, why are you in town here? And I was like, well, I just played a show. And he's like, well, you got to play for us. So I got out my violin, and we ended up jamming. He didn't play, but his like friends were musicians, and we hung out with Tom Baker's son till like 2 a.m. And it was like probably one of my favorite nights ever on tour. We like just jammed and hung out, and the bar was closed, and like it was just such a great, yeah. So I was like, finally, because you don't want to be the annoying person that's like, hey, I like Doctor Who, because he did have a few like it wasn't very obvious that it was like owned by his son, except for it did have like one of the garbage cans was painted like a Dalek.
Yeah.
And they had like a mural by the bathrooms, but like everything else was just a normal bar or whatever. But
So there was just a subtle hint with a garbage can painted like a Dalek.
in the alley, it was like, yeah, he wasn't like, yeah, I mean that's not that subtle, I guess, right? But good point. I mean, I wanted one of those garbage cans after I saw it. I was like,
Right.
yeah.
Now, it was part of your touring England. Was that when you released last year? When you released music from Macbeth, your new
Yeah,
album?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I recorded in 2022. Recorded the score for Macbeth on Broadway. So Daniel Craig and Ruth Negga. Craig, I think you have to say for the British people, because when I said Craig, nobody knew who I was talking about. Daniel Craig, and then it was pre-recorded so that it was playing in the theater. So I wasn't the one performing it live. I performed it in a studio, but then they said I could release it as an album. But it took me like 3 years to get my act together to get it out. So I finally got it out last year, and we toured England as part of that like project or whatever, which was really fun.
Sweet. And I know that your memoir was just released, and we're gonna take a look at that as well.
yeah.
Your memoir. But I just realized I skipped Terry. I am so sorry. TARDIS Spider, I know you've got some things you want to ask Gaelynn also.
Yes, okay. Sunday sessions.
Yeah.
Is that on your site or is that associated with PBS?
Oh, that's a great question. I haven't done a Sunday sessions in a while, full disclosure. It was something I did during the pandemic. I think I did like 100 of them. They were every Sunday. and they started out just being me performing, and then I eventually invited guest artists. I'm thinking of a way to reboot something similar, but maybe with a more broad base than just music. So yeah, those are mine. They're on my YouTube channel, and the archive is really fun. There's a lot of good conversations and music.
I saw you on Midwest Mom.
Oh yeah.
She was laughing so hard she was crying. I want everyone to know. But I want to know about the early years in the pizza parlor.
Oh yeah, yes. Well, so when I was getting used to looping, like learning how to loop my violin, I knew that I wasn't going to sit there and practice at home because it wasn't very fun. Like it's really hard looping. I mean, now it's not hard, but it was really hard to learn, and I was frustrated by it a lot. So I was like, I'm going to up the stakes a little bit, and I will book myself a weekly gig at a pizza shop so I can practice my looping and like have a reason to do it every week for 2 hours. So yeah, I would get. I think I got like paid. It was something like $50 and a small pizza and one glass of wine, and that's how they paid you. And I did it every week for a whole year. And it started out very much like background music. No, nobody's really listening, and you're in the corner playing by yourself. And then as it kept going, it became kind of a show because I got better basically at looping and singing and stuff. And then by the end of that year, I recorded my first album. That was actually like a lot of how I got ready to record the first album. I went into a studio like literally about exactly a year after that gig started. So that was really fun. It was every week. The weekly gigs are good. They like keep your life organized. That's what I liked about Sunday sessions during the pandemic is everything felt so, I don't know, scattered and weird. But it was like a weekly thing to look forward to and to plan and promote. It's nice to have an anchor. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
you explained the looping on her show, and after you explained that, the performances I watched, I could see what you were doing there. And
Yeah.
okay, that's how she's doing that. Now, another question, this out of the blue, I watch a lot of music reactions.
Oh, you do?
And you were on Harry Best.
I was?
Yes, he did a music reaction to your performance that you had on Tiny Desk.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Oh.
it didn't let your ego any, huh?
No.
You've been reacted to.
Uh-oh. Now
So
I'm
you're up there with
scared.
the Beatles and the Stones now.
Yeah. No, don't be. It was good. I saw it too.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
don't
who
be
is this?
scared.
Harry who?
Harry Best.
Harry Best?
Yes, he's a music reactor out of England.
Okay, I gotta look for that eventually. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Oh, well. Oh, I feel better now.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
I
Well,
contributed.
yeah, you did. I didn't. They must not always tell you if they're doing it because I had no idea. That's cool.
No, but yes. Okay. Back to you, Greg.
Okay.
I'm drinking. I can't help it.
Cherry, I'm going to mute the. Oh, there we go. Okay, because we got a little bit of a cafe background noise there. Really good questions. Now, I didn't. My God, we've been going for 20 minutes already. Okay, so let's jump right into this. Let's jump right into it. It wasn't
yeah.
meant to be perfect, and this is from Batchette, your publisher, right there. Your memoir.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Well, in 2018, people kind of started asking me, "Are you going to write a memoir someday?" And I wasn't really sure what that would look like or what the point would be. But then as I got farther along, kind of recognizing that there's a lot of barriers for disabled musicians in the industry, like a lot of places aren't accessible. There's just a misunderstanding too, I think, that it's really music for everybody. It's not just like you only like it if you're disabled or something, and so there's just a lot of misunderstandings. And so I was like, maybe I would write a book where it's a life story focused on music, but I could like sneak in talking about things that I wish we learned in school. Because the other thing I realized with advocacy is that there really is not a lot of education. Like people don't learn about disabilities in school, or disability history, especially. So I wanted to include some of that. So I ended up writing a memoir. It like obviously the pandemic meant that I was home a lot more. So basically, right after we got back from Macbeth, I wrote a book proposal before we left, and then I kind of worked on the memoir. September 2023 to December 2024. So like 15 months of writing, and then there's another year of editing, and then it finally came out in April of 2026. So it took. I was silly and thought it would take like, you know, a year or something. Like that was not at all. Writing a book takes a long time, but I'm glad that I did it. It was a lot bigger project than I thought it would be, but I'm glad that it worked out.
Okay, awesome. And of course, it is all over the place. Right here. Here's a little bit more information for people that want to look at this on her publisher's website. Right here. I do have a question for you about editing, but look at where this can be found. It's on Amazon. You can order it right now. It wasn't meant to be perfect, a memoir, and not just online. A brick and mortar store, Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
We have an awesome new Barnes and Noble here in Emeryville, over in East Bay from San Francisco,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
we were just there last weekend, and I didn't realize that your book is probably in there. And of course, you can get it on at Target. This is going through with my next order. I already have that in my cart. On Target,
Yay.
it's on Walmart, multiple other places, and your publisher's website shows right here where you can order it. That would be right here: Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, Bookshop, Hudson Booksellers. That I have not heard of. Is that British?
I don't know if it's British or it might be like a smaller chain than Barnes and Noble. I know I've seen them before, or like, is it the airport shops? I don't know. I know I've heard, I mean, I think they're maybe they're the airport ones. I don't know. I've seen them around, but they're not as big as Barnes and Noble. Then they're on sale right now till September 7th. I think it's 50% off the hardcover at Barnes and Noble, which is pretty cool that they are doing a book sale for that stuff right now. Yeah, the publishing, I mean, some people prefer self-publishing, which I think is really cool, but I don't think I would have had the bandwidth to get it out as many places as they did. They did a really good job of like making sure it got out to all the stores and that everybody knew about it and stuff. So that they've been working really hard. And now it's like the fun time. Like I get to talk about it, and I did a bunch of library gigs this week, which is really fun. Like played and did some talking with a Q&A, and did some music. So they were really fun gigs. So I'm enjoying the like aftermath now that it's all done.
Okay. And who's the audiobook read by?
Me.
It's
and
you.
I must say, so the publisher, they're more invested in the physical book because obviously that's what they produced and made. They made a bunch of copies of it and stuff. But to be honest, the audiobook, if you're a fan of audiobooks, is really cool because I got to put a ton of music in it. They let me use, I got my bandmates' permission, which is really nice of them, to use my music in the audiobook. So I placed it throughout. There's probably about an hour of music like underneath different scenes and in between chapters and stuff. So anything that and then I sing all the lyrics. So instead of reading them like words, I decided to sing them. So they're a cappella, but it's a different kind of experience than the physical book. And I think it's kind of cool. I'm not personally an audiobook listener because I always lose track. I'm like, wait a minute, what just happened? I zoned out there for a second. You know what I mean? So I'm more of a reader. But I think if you like audiobooks, it's a fun one because of all the music.
Okay. Yeah, it's easy to zone out with a Doctor Who audiobook.
I know, I try
if you
so
can only
hard.
imagine.
I know, I love Doctor Who audiobooks, but I have to really be like paying attention.
Real
like
focused.
I can't just have it in the background or I lose track.
So is the audiobook and the book word for word, so someone can read the book while listening to you?
Yep. It's exactly the book, and it's in my voice. So I have heard of some people doing that, and I think that's kind of a cool idea because it's exactly the same. And then there's a surprise song at the end of the audiobook, but I actually put the lyrics of that in the book too because I really wanted it to be matched up. So yeah.
That's cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I need to go back to my Target cart and add the audiobook
Add
also.
the audiobook.
Okay, so
It's on
yeah.
Audible as well. I know people like Audible. I don't have an Audible account, but I know it's on Audible too. So
Okay. Now I've noticed with Audible, some of the time, even though the author has read their own work, Audible will actually, or you know what? I shouldn't say that. I don't think it is Audible. There's a different version through Amazon where it's not always the author's voice. But I think
yeah,
Audible's the one that is. So
I hope
um,
so.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Now,
Okay.
with the editing, after all this time, this 15 months project turns into something a little bit bigger than you thought. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
what was it like working with an editor? To be perfectly blunt, did you ever come to a point where the editor says we need to take this out and you said no?
Yeah.
We can't.
No, that's a good question. What editing was in two big phases, and one thing I'm really glad that I decided to do is before I even showed it to the editor, I showed it to 12 close friends who have different life experiences. Some of them were disabled, some of them were younger, some of them were older, and I had them give me kind of big picture feedback, not the like you got this word wrong or whatever, but like, and they had really good advice, and it changed the book a lot. Like, it was going to be 12 big chapters, and they were like, we're worried that people, if they're not interested in the beginning of a chapter, are going to skip, and then they're going to miss the second half, which is like a whole different thing. So I broke the book into 37 chapters after their advice, found places to break it. I also took out a couple of stories. I also reworded a couple things, but it was all, sometimes I was really annoyed. Like, I'm not going to lie. I was like, but then you like have some time to think about it and you're like, no, they're right. Like you kind of get a gut sense of like what is the right choice. It kind of reveals itself. It took a lot of patience, but I'm grateful that so many of them were willing to read it. And then I showed it to my editor. She had some feedback. The only like two impasses were there's one story that I ended up cutting at the end, which I a little bit regret. Like there's a cool lady who helped make a disabled dance class when I was a really little kid, and she was a really big part of my life, and I kind of wish I hadn't cut that story, but I already had a story about an integrated theater program for people with disabilities, and it kind of felt too similar to keep both. We didn't want the book to drag, you know what I mean? It doesn't. It goes by really fast. If you haven't read it yet, it's not a slow read, and so that's good. It kept the momentum going. And then the other thing is the copy editor, who, again, I think the book is much better for it, but the copy editing is when it gets really down to the nitty gritty, right? Like periods and spellings and stuff. I took a lot of creative license with like capitalizing words, and like sometimes I used weird spellings on purpose. And so we had a few back and forths. Like, you're not supposed to capitalize the in editing with like the word the band the Decemberists, but I fought to keep it the way that they write it, which is the capital V Decemberists, for example, right? Or my band, The Murder of Crows. Like I capitalized the T, little stuff like that. But it took like a lot of back and forth and like little tiny tweaks. And that was a hard process. But in the end of the day, I think she did have a lot of good advice too. So I don't regret it. It was just a little bit of it was an intense process. Like the copy editing was a lot of work and a lot of back and forth. We didn't agree on everything because I did like to have it be whimsical. You know, sometimes I use the British spelling of words actually, like occasionally, like things like that, where because I meant it that way, and so I wanted it to read the way that I really talk, but I don't talk the way that proper grammar always wants you to, and so you know, it's a choice at that point, an artistic choice. So sometimes I had to fight for weird phrasings of things.
Okay. And you just mentioned your band, and I'm wondering, TARDIS Spider, how's that coffee going? Is that thing good?
It's wonderful. It's gone.
It's gone. Whoa.
Oh, you're killing it. So
I'm a glutton.
Are you like on cloud 9 right now because you have sugar and caffeine coursing through your veins?
No, I drink coffee all day.
Oh, okay.
Retired people have these We have our addictions.
That's pretty great. I will be joining you eventually on that one, I'm sure.
Retiring or a coffee addiction?
Coffee. I already have a coffee addiction, but if I didn't have to ever work, I would probably drink it all day. I mean, I am drinking it all day. It's 3:30 and I'm still drinking it now.
Well, hey, it looks sunny in Minnesota today.
It is right now, finally, and warm. Warmish, 65.
What is warmish for Minnesota today?
Well, 65 degrees is what it is today, which I think is what, 21 degrees Celsius or something?
Well, it's
So it's
96.
96 in Alabama? Oh my gosh, no way. I would die. I can't do that. That's too hot for me.
Well,
I mean,
it'll be 60 something in December.
and it'll be negative 20 in December where
I grew up in Michigan. I understand.
Okay, yeah. It's a long winters here, so there's trade-offs everywhere.
We had our first real snowstorm in 150 years 2 years ago.
How much snow did you get?
We got 8 inches.
8 inches? Well, that's kind of a lot, actually.
Yeah, well,
Holy
that's the most snow. That's the third time it's snowed in my 40 years here.
Are you
And,
serious?
Yeah, I live right down on the coast, in Mobile.
Oh, cool. I've never. That's the thing. My husband and I have been to 42 states, but we have not actually. No, wait, that's a lie. We have been to Alabama.
Birmingham.
What's the other one? We've been to Birmingham. That's the only place we've been in Alabama. And then we've been in Mississippi. We stayed in Oxford, but I haven't played there. But there's another state down there. What's the other one?
Well, there's Florida and Louisiana and Georgia.
Mississippi.
She
Maybe
said
we have been
Mississippi.
to everything.
Yeah.
Arkansas, that's where we haven't been.
Arkansas. That's north of Louisiana.
Okay, we've never been to
West
Arkansas.
of us. It's over on the Mississippi. But
And we hadn't been to Alabama until we finally made it to Birmingham. That was cool.
well,
Yeah. Birmingham was cool. You don't like it? I thought it was cool. The people were really nice.
I would prefer Huntsville if I was up in North Alabama, because it's just it's a newer city. More of the things to do are new. Of course, here it's the coastal stuff, and
That's cool.
yeah, Mardi Gras. We're home of Mardi Gras in America, so
Really? Not New Orleans?
no.
Oh.
I didn't know
Hey.
that. I didn't.
No.
Well, in fact, we'll be going to a costume ball in October.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah, yes, it is. We have a good time.
Dang.
I must admit, I love you guys saying Birmingham.
Oh, I
Oh,
knew
yeah.
it. I could see the look on your face.
You're like, that's not how you say
Yeah,
it.
you know what? I made
Birmingham.
that mistake down in Texas. There's a town which is called Brookshire. Okay. So what do? I roll into town, go in the local convenience store, and I go, "Am I in Brookshire?" And you could hear a pin drop. Everybody's looking at me like, oh, so are we saying it wrong, Candyman? Is that what you're saying? Is it Birmingham, not Birmingham?
It's probably because my ethics and South reason. We don't pronounce our H's in our words.
Birmingham. Yep.
Birmingham.
It's Birmingham.
Well,
So yeah. So you guys emphasise the ham bit.
yes, there's a lot of ham in America.
Yeah.
Shires.
I just noticed it. It's just funny how you guys say like Shire rather than Shire.
Oh, yes. No, I can't pronounce half of the cities, like Leicester, right? Is that
Yep,
how you say it?
Yep.
But I say Leicester, of course, because that's how you say it in my head. But that's
No,
not how
you-
you say it.
Yeah, me too. Leicester cheese.
Lester, you said it
I know.
perfectly.
I'm working on it. I'm like more aware, but I'm not good at it yet. No,
And-
when we were in Nottingham,
Yeah.
Nottingham, when we were in Nottingham, I was trying to tell, like, I was talking about the tour, and I was like, and then we went to, what's that one? Oh yeah, Birmingham. And they all laughed because I forgot about Birmingham. They're only like an hour away, and it's a huge
Yeah.
city, so it's not
It's-
very smart.
It's
to
the
forget about
county
it.
next to Nottinghamshire which Gregor has major problems with.
You're right.
Which county is that?
Derbyshire.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
what's up with Derbyshire?
My best friend lived there. We were Commodore 64 and Doctor Who buddies, and
Okay.
I always thought he lived in Derbyshire. So I would call it His name was Barry Joines. May he rest in peace. He was a cool guy. He passed away, unfortunately.
Oh.
He was an old guy. He lived a good full life, and he was really cool. And I thought he lived in Wingerworth, Chesterfield, Derbyshire, England,
Derby.
until I met Candyman, and he told me I was saying it all wrong.
All three names were said wrong.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah. You know
That's
what?
awesome.
I just realized this Japanese barley tea, it doesn't have any caffeine. That's my wife has been drinking this late at night. So
Oh, that
I'm
makes more sense.
yeah. TARDIS Spider's the only one getting a caffeine buzz here.
Well, I'm getting one too. Don't worry.
Okay.
I've got my caffeine. Yeah, no, it's when we go there, I'm always surprised at the little differences that you don't expect. Like we call cilantro, but you guys call it all coriander, and my brain like
Coriander.
exploded. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like it's just weird, like little things that you're like,
Yeah, the same thing, because I didn't realize cilantro was actually the Spanish word for coriander.
"Oh, okay." Thanks for the education. I didn't know that. Either.
So I was in Spain trying to look for coriander when I used to live there. I couldn't find it because it's called cilantro.
So yeah, we get more confusing where the dried stuff is coriander and the leaves are cilantro. So we make
Yeah.
no sense over here. So yeah, just weird
Right.
little differences where it's like a parallel universe kind of.
Mhm.
It's kind of interesting. I love it.
Have you ever made any mistakes at all, like getting those words mixed up with going from the UK to from US?
No, I will say, so I had a guitarist with me last time who's from London, which is good because he diplomatically saved me on stage. I think I said something like, "It's so great to be back in England," and we were in Cardiff. So, and he's like, and by what she means is, it's really awesome to be in Wales. And I was like, yes, you are right. You know what I mean? So it's things like that where you're like, oh God. So I'm just glad he was there because he.
Well,
And then the other thing I did is I said the word Macbeth on stage every single night. Like, I mean, not to be evil, just like, but they really take it seriously there. Like some people in America are like, oh, don't say that in,
yeah,
but in England it was like, what the hell are you doing? Like it was very, very scary for me. To
I'm
be
not
doing that.
sure, because you said you was doing stuff on Macbeth. Had
Yeah.
you come across the Globe Theatre?
We went to see it when we were in London, maybe back in 2019, and I reached out to them about doing something and it didn't work out. It would have been cool, but they already had their schedule planned. But I have seen it, and it's really neat to know that. I mean, it's a rebuild, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But like, it's still cool to
because the original one got burnt down in the far of London, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this. I think I did. No, I didn't. I forgot. In our neighborhood, we live by a house that's basically, protected by a trust, kind of like, your National Historic Trust houses. So I was telling, the guy who is doing the show with me in Nottingham, that, we have this house next to us and it's really beautiful and old. And he's like, well, how old is it? And I was like, 1907. And he's like, isn't that quaint? And I was so he's like, yeah, she says, in the land of castles. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. But that's what we got. So anyways. Well, Greg, do you have more questions? I don't want to derail with my weird English faux pas.
I have hours more questions, but looks like we got about 20 minutes left here. If you want to stay the whole hour, I mean, totally up to you.
No, I'm good. I got it cleared on my cal for that.
Okay,
so.
cool.
Yeah.
I was reading that you were, I'm confused about something here. I don't understand what this means. It's my understanding that you were nominated for 3 Tony Awards, and and here I found a reference to the National Endowment of the Arts. With you listed there. Were you nominated for the Tony Awards through the National Endowment of Arts, or were they nominated for one? And what's your relationship with them?
Oh, so the Tony Awards are for the Broadway, like that's the Broadway version of the Oscars or whatever. And I personally wasn't nominated myself, but the sound designer was, and that was cool. He texted me like at the because he went obviously to the Tonys. He texted and said, obviously this is like, thank you for working with me, and I consider this a joint thing because we worked very closely together. Generally in a play like that, the sound designer and the composer would be the same person. Like, but Sam Gold wanted my music and his sound design because obviously I don't know anything about sound design, and Mikhail is really talented, so he paired us together. So it was very like a group effort. We both had feedback and like made it. I think it was kind of a joint thing. But I personally was not nominated. The play was nominated for 3 Tony Awards. Lady Macbeth, which was Ruth Negga, she was nominated for Best Actress, and then the lighting design got nominated, and then the sound design got nominated. So that's how that worked out.
Okay.
And then the National Endowment for the Arts, that was, I think, kind of separate. That's like they were doing some work on talking about disability in the arts, and they interviewed me and then had me give some like suggestions. So I don't know where those both intersected, but that's where that came from, is a toolkit, they called it. Yeah.
The toolkit. Okay.
Yeah.
And that actually led right into my other question. Looking right here, the Ford and Mellon Foundations, I'm showing a Disability Futures Fellowship of 2024. What does that mean?
So that was really, really exciting. The Ford Foundation and the Mellon Foundation did this three different sets of fellowship cohorts. Unfortunately, it ended. I think politics here have gotten pretty hard to celebrate things like disability culture.
Yeah.
It's just not that we're not in a good place for that kind of stuff. So they cut the funding for it. But I was the last year, so they give you a fellowship of basically $50,000 and this access to training and stuff. As like as an acknowledgement of the work you've done in the disability culture space. So it was really cool to be nominated. I was the 3rd cohort. So there were 3 groups of, I think there were 20 each time that got nominated. So it was really neat to be part of that because I met a lot of very cool people, and it allowed me to get some training that I wouldn't have been able to afford also because you had the separate budget for training and stuff. So, and it allowed me to finish my book because like I couldn't tour really while I was working on this because it would have been, I don't know how anyone could write a book while they're on the road, but it allowed me to financially stay home basically, which was really cool because I don't know if the book would have ever come out in the world if I had to get back on the road right away.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
I've got just a couple of others here. I want to ask you about Ramped, but also please do tell us about your Substack right here. And I got to tell you, Emily, how do you say that? Ladau? Emily Ladau?
Emily Ladau.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, she is such a good interviewer.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I watched that. And I'm like, wow. And it got me all that more excited because I already knew we were going to be able to talk to you. So when I saw her do that, and of course I learned about it. I saw it on YouTube first, and then I went ahead and then I saw it on your Substack, which is, you call it Creative Living for Everybody with Gaelynn Lea. So for people that haven't heard of Substack or didn't know that you were on there, what would they expect to find in content from you?
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, don't let me forget that there's something I want to talk about at the end that kind of ties in. But the Substack it's kind of just my newsletter. Like it's where I put out, first of all, like if I have a tour coming up, I'll make sure to announce it there. So if you want to keep up on any of my events, that's a good place to look, is the Substack. But I also put essays up there and sometimes interview with people like Emily. She did my online book event because I knew I wanted to have one that was only online so that anyone could go. And so she did my online book interview. And we are both disability rights people, so it was fun to be able to talk with her. She's a really cool person. But Substack, I have a bunch of essays about like thinking about disability differently. The reason I call it Creative Living for Everybody is I really feel like disability is not like a set in stone. You have it, you don't have it. Like your body is always changing, as you know. Like your body's always changing. You age, things happen as you age, and it's not something to be afraid of so much as how do you adapt and be resilient when it's happening, and how do you find community that supports you and the things that you need to enjoy life still, because I think there's this misconception that life is automatically suckier if you have a disability, and I just don't believe that, because I think if you have the right support, you can live a really fulfilling life even as your body goes through stuff. So that's what the whole point of the Substack is, to kind of look at disability and arts and creativity in a way that's a little less like afraid of thinking about disability.
Okay. Wow, that is an absolutely awesome way of putting it. That's almost leaving me speechless there. What a perfect way of saying it. Now, um, right here with Ramped.
Yeah.
Tell us what Ramped is. It says that you're a Ramped member, and that's of course where I was looking at the recognition and awards. Of course, Tiny Desk, which we talked about, the Spirit of Folk Award from 22, Whippoorwill Arts Foundation.
Yep.
You know what is Ramped? What's your involvement in that? And then let's see, what else did I have here? Okay, we covered Ford, and then of course this right here, this from Ramped. I got to tell you, when I saw this thumbnail, yeah, I went and watched this video. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I
That
love
is
it.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so what is up with your involvement in Ramped, and tell us a little bit more about your advocacy for disability access in the arts. That's the words I was looking for right there.
Yep. Yeah.
Disability access. Did I get the term right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so Ramped is an organization that the title really is Recording Artists and Music Professionals with Disabilities. And it's a group that was founded by Lachi and me. Like, she asked about, she's the main founder. It was her idea, but she asked if I would co-found it with her. So we got started together. We worked on it behind the scenes throughout 2021 and launched it officially in January of 2022. I was the first vice president of the organization, and served on a couple of the boards. Not right now, I'm just a member because the book kind of took over my life, and I'm not running the group at this moment. But it's a group that kind of advocates for accessibility, disability inclusion, and disability culture in the music industry. So what that looks like partly, and the part that I was excited about at the beginning, is it's a database. So if you go on that website, ramped.org, rampd.org, there's a database that can say search our network, and there are artists from all over the world. Actually, now it started out nationally, but we have some international members who can have a bio like that page you looked at with me, with their music and their history and their awards and stuff. And you realize that there are a lot of very cool disabled artists out there. So a lot of the times, one of the reasons venues haven't invested money in building a ramp, for example, is they say things like, oh yeah, well, you're the only artist we've ever worked with that needs one. And the whole point of Ramped at the beginning, especially for me, is like, I want it to be really obvious that I'm not the only artist that would benefit from that, and that more people with disabilities would be involved if they, in the music industry in general, if they were able to get in the door, or get on the stage and not be kind of like having to put themselves in danger just to do a show, because it's not really safe to be carried up a flight of stairs or whatever. So so for me, that was the big thing, is getting a database of all these artists together, and then we can find each other too. So what's really cool is, for example, in October, I'm doing a showcase with one of the artists I met through Ramped. And so we're going to do a show in Des Moines, Iowa, at a place called XBK Live. And it's a really cool venue that built a ramp to their new stage, and they're really excited to have it be an accessible evening. And she's really excited, and I'm really excited. And so it's the kind of thing where if you don't know who else is out there, it can feel pretty alienating. And so it's been really fun. And then Ramped does other things, like they've partnered with the Recording Academy to try to make the Grammys more accessible. They've done some like workshops with places like Sony and Apple Music and stuff. And so they're doing a lot of different projects. And some of that work I also do in the Recording Academy, because I joined the Recording Academy around the same time. So I've been trying to kind of diversify and raise awareness in a bunch of different places about what it looks like to have a more inclusive music industry.
Okay, and
Yeah.
you just nailed my last question. It was there was actually two about the Recording Academy. I kind of wanted to know what is up with this video because that's absolutely awesome. But I also wanted to know about the Recording Academy, and then I'll call it quits. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm interviewing you
No,
again here,
oh
and
yeah, no, it's
I
all
told you
good.
this is just a hangout.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and I don't have to get off at the dot at 4. I have to get off pretty soon, but I
Gotcha.
don't feel rushed or whatever. But we're going to my parents for dinner. I'm excited. We only see them once a week, really. So,
Cool.
but the Recording Academy. It's a lot of different artists are on there. You join if you want to kind of network with other professional, like people doing it for a living, and I felt like it would be important for more disabled people to be on the Recording Academy because a lot of times I'll be in meetings and I'll bring something up and they're like, oh, we haven't thought of that before. So it's important to just infiltrate everywhere you can. And so that's what I did. And then that music video, Lost in the Woods, that was back in like 2017, maybe. It's a song I wrote and recorded, like a group of 2 dudes, basically, Everglow Media, were like, hey, we love your music. Can we make a music video with you? And they gave me a really good price, and they were super creative. Like a lot of the artistic stuff you see there is like they thought of a lot of it in a good way. Like we talked a lot about what kind of aesthetic I like, but we wanted it to have disabled people in there. And so the lady on the left of me with the blonde hair in the wheelchair, that's Gaelynn Heffernan. And if you've never heard of her band, Wheelchair Sports Camp, I would really highly recommend looking them up. They're kind of hip hop punk. She's like, we have the same disability, and her name is Gaelynn, and I'm Gaelynn. So you'd think we'd be more similar, but our vibes are very different. Like she's out there, man. But we're actually touring together in October, so we're gonna do
Really?
a Gaelynn and Gaelynn Tiny Mountain tour out in the Virginia, North Carolina, like those states, West Virginia, stuff like that. So it's gonna be really fun to get out there. Georgia, Atlanta show. So it's going to be very fun, but our vibes are very different, and it's going to be kind of hilarious, I think, actually, because we're not. It's like partnering me I mean, we're just so different, but we're very good friends, actually. Like she's an awesome person, so I can't wait to finally do some shows with her. We've been talking about it for a while.
And you said Wheelchair Sports Camp?
Yep, that's the name of the group. So they have
Okay.
they released a new album like about a year, maybe not even a year ago, a few months ago, called O Imperfecta, because our disability is called osteogenesis imperfecta. So O Imperfecta, and it's very punk. Her previous album, which is called No Big Deal, is amazing, and that is hip hop more with like loops, and it's got a lot of cool technology if you're into a little more experimental music. This is straight up punk, hardcore punk. So she kind of took a left turn into the punk zone, but it's good. It's really good, and people have been really responding to it because it's. She kind of said, she always felt like she had to make everything super technically perfect, and it was cool. Like, I mean, she made some really, really cool hip hop beats and like loops and all this stuff. And she's like, but I kind of just wanted to do something that was fun and like didn't require this like layer of perfection that I had held myself to. So they just like recorded it in like really quick, and people have really been digging it. So I would recommend listening to it. It's a little dark, but it's punk and it's fun. I don't know what your styles are.
Yeah. Punk should be dark.
Yes.
I've got one more question for you.
Yeah.
Who would you love to collab with? Like what other?
Oh man. Okay, so I mean, I would say originally I would have said the Decemberists and Wilco, but I did get to open for both of them, and they had me play with them on stage. So, and I actually recorded on one of the Decemberists albums back in 2017. So I feel like those are checked off enough. I think now there's 2. I was obsessed deeply with Neutral Milk Hotel as a college kid, and doing something with them would be amazing. And then more recently, I my guitarist, one of them, sent me a track by Lisa O'Neill. She's an Irish folk singer songwriter, and she just has the most beautiful lyrics and voice, and like I cry every time I hear her. So I think something like that would be really fun. I try not to like have too many goals like that because I want to be open to stuff, but I would say someone like Lisa would be pretty awesome. Just she's so talented. If you haven't heard her song One Note, or no, Old Note, that's what it is. OLD, Old Note. It's just like completely bowled me over. Like my guitarist friend texted me out of the blue, said, "Hey, listen to this song," and I was doing email, and I'm like typing, and then halfway through the first verse, I kind of closed my computer, and then I just start weeping, and I texted him, I'm like, "What did you? What? Why? What is this?" And he's like, "I know, I'm crying too," and it was like, it's so good. So it's been a while since a song like totally got me in the gut that hard. So
Wow.
and all of her music's really beautiful.
Okay.
Lisa O'Neill.
Wow. Okay, well, here we are. This hour flew by. Chartist Spider, Gaelynn has something that she wants to add here as we wrap up. Anything you can think of that you want to add? Nope. Okay. Well,
No, not
okay. Did you finish your coffee?
Oh yeah.
just whipped cream.
Okay. Okay. Well, Gaelynn, thank you so much. This has been absolutely awesome. And there was something that you said that you wanted to mention. And
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks for.
please
Yeah.
have the last word.
Yeah.
Favorite
Well.
doctor.
Oh yeah. Well, I know that's the other thing. We gotta at least address the big elephant in the room is like favorite doctor. So that's where we'll end. I'll say before we end, I'm really excited because the Substack is called Creative Living for Everybody, and this year I decided I'm gonna get certified to do creativity life coaching, and I already started a platform online. It's called Creative Living Coaching, basically for disabled creatives and aging artists, and like a place where people can create without all the like negative stereotypes around disability. So I kind of am taking a bit of a turn, and I mean, not that I'm not throwing my violin off a cliff or anything, but like I really want to do something a little bit different, and coaching. I've always loved psychology. I was a psych minor. Doing something with artists to help them access their own creativity more, especially if they're going through physical and mental things in a way that doesn't feel like medical or negative, because a lot of times disability is misunderstood that way. So that's the next thing I'm working on. So it's called Creative Living Coaching, and if you look it up, it's on my website. I'm just really, really excited about it. So I'm going to launch a program, a year-long program in 2027, where each month we'll kind of cover a different topic and have a different guest come speak, and then different activities to do and stuff. So I think it's going to be really fun, and it's already fun. I did a month-long August kind of format just to try it out and see what I need to learn how to do better and stuff. And so, and even that's just been really fulfilling. So I'm pumped to have a kind of a new project to be working on. So I did want to mention that in case anyone you're watching is interested in that kind of tapping into their own creativity. That's really important to me. In a place where disability is not seen as like negative, you know what I mean? Because that's such especially in the wellness industry, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to help people not feel like they got a dread or like they're a burden. Or I mean, there's just a lot of really negative language out there about disability. So I want to make a space that avoids all of that garbage and is just like positive, kind of like what you're doing here, where it's just like a fun place to hang. So yeah.
You're so kind, Gaelynn. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Doctors, though, we gotta end on that. We cannot leave this room without discussing the doctors.
Oh, the doctors.
Yeah, who's your favorite
My
doctor?
favorite one.
Doctor Who?
Yes. I can't believe we haven't talked more about Doctor Who. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Doctor Who, exactly.
Got my charts right here.
Oh, wait. You know what I got? My
You're
sonic
Sonic.
screwdriver.
Oh.
Yep. So we're all here for a reason, you guys.
Right.
So, favorite doctor. I won't go first. Who wants to go
No,
first?
okay. Since you're the guest star, you can choose who you want to go first.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
pick.
TARDIS Spider, who is your favorite doctor? And why?
I don't really have a favorite, but I do cosplay John Pertwee,
Okay, I can see
and
that.
I also cosplay Shooty Gatwa.
You do? How did? Okay,
I have the blue suit with the pink bow tie from Lux.
okay. Oh yeah, that's a good. Wait, do you like? I mean, do you like the new Doctor? Like, have you been enjoying it? This is the second hour of our show.
I am more dedicated to the classic series. I love the classic series. I like the new series.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I do videos every week on the classic series,
Oh,
and very seldom I don't get views on the new series. And I watched the classic series for 40 years before I even saw it.
yeah. I mean, that's you're in a different position than I got introduced in 2021 or something. So totally different.
Early 80s, and I did meet John Pertwee.
Oh.
He came to Mobile on a PBS tour with Elizabeth Slade and Sarah Jane.
Oh, that's cool. I
The
love
TARDIS,
Sarah
the
Jane.
Doctor, yes. It was. He was wearing blue velvet that day.
You remember it fondly. Yes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so cool. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, John Pertwee's fun. I'm just getting into the classic series more. Like I really did solidly start in the new era. So, Candyman, what about you?
That's such a tough question for me.
And then also, can you please go to what is the bar for Tom Baker's Son Bar? I'm gonna find it right now because I think you really like it. How far away are you from Nottingham? Very far?
150 miles.
Oh, that's not that far.
In the UK, that is.
It's called I know it is. It's called the Bath Inn in Snighton, Nottingham.
Oh, yeah, Stenton.
The
Yeah,
Bath Inn. Anyways, continue. So it's a loaded question.
it is a loaded question. When I was a kid,
Yes.
I used to love Tom Baker.
Okay.
As I got older and started watching new series, I didn't mind Tennant, I didn't mind Capaldi, but I think my favourite Doctor has got to be Sylvester McCoy because he's the darkest Doctor.
Oh, he is? Even though the episodes are the zaniest of all time?
what he did to Ace in Curse of Fendrick,
Oh,
okay,
okay, fair enough.
he's one of the darkest. I'm not sure you've seen much of his series at all.
Not
Well,
Watch it.
It's within, yes.
okay.
When after Mel leaves, it goes really dark.
Okay. And you like that? You're a fan?
Yeah, a bit like the Time Lord Victorious.
Okay. You
He's the chess master Doctor.
okay. Okay. I'll have to give it more go. I mean, I'm
he
sorry. Some of
manipulates
those episodes are so
Ace's
zany. What did you say?
He manipulates Ace's life.
Oh. Wait a minute. So then how did you feel about when Ace came back? Did you think that wasn't believable? In the new series? Do you watch the new series at all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it. As soon as I saw
Okay.
Ace, Ace is a very good friend of mine.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so you did like that they brought her back.
Yes, I've been
Okay,
wanting to
okay.
bring her back for ages,
Okay.
and I also want her to inherit because I know she does childhood's end, and she's got that little office in there. But I've always secretly wanted her to inherited Mr. Smith and K9 from Sarah Jane.
Oh.
That was my plan. If they can do an episode where she gets Mr. Smith and K9 from Sarah Jane's apprentice, and then she takes over from Sarah Jane,
That would be cool.
that would be
Ah.
awesome.
That actually would be cool. Wait, so what about you, Greg?
Oh, it's that it comes to mind. It's a very, very simple answer, and it's going to be Tom Baker. And here's why. I like all of the Doctors. Okay, I like going back to the black and white era with William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton. Okay, there was a slow stage play feel to those that were not rushed. They were really
No.
long stories with a lot of character development where you were actually really into it instead of it being faster paced. Okay, but
Yeah.
with Tom Baker, I used my dad's TV guide, the paper magazine that came in the mail. Heaven forbid that thing was late in the mail, because it's the only way you could tell what was on TV. And I was looking for science fiction, and I found something called Doctor Who, and I thought, what does that even mean? Is that the name of a show? And
Mhm.
it was Horror of Fang Rock. Excuse me. Horror of Fang Rock was on. There was this fuzzy-haired, googly-eyed guy that I thought was a comedian. And I couldn't tell what anybody was saying because of the British accents. But it was creepy, and it was spooky, and there was people getting killed. There was this beautiful woman that seems to be traveling with him or something. Some other lady starts screaming. She slaps her. I mean, it's funny. It was funny and scary at the same time. And for that reason, it was Tom Baker and the entire team making that program back then that made me love Doctor Who. So there you have it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Oh, I like it.
And who is your favorite Doctor? Oh, I'm sorry, Cherry. You're going to say?
Fang Rock is one you want to check out.
I know. I need to see that. I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, you got something to look forward to then? Yeah.
Everybody dies.
Everybody
don't-
dies?
No,
What?
no.
Hold on. Hold on a second. Okay, fine.
All right.
I'll still
Gaelynn,
watch it.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite, it's hard. So I got introduced to it. It's so funny. Paul, my husband, actually started watching Doctor Who before me, and he always wanted me to watch it with him, and I was really stubborn, and I would not do it. And so he's like, but Rose just ended up in another dimension, and I'm like, nope, boring, don't want to watch it. And then one day, seriously, I think it's divine intervention. He's like, what do you want to watch tonight? And I remember feeling like I shouldn't always impose my will on this situation. I should be more flexible. So I was like, well, we could try Doctor Who. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, let's try it. I remember making a conscious choice to be like more chill, right? And I just like loved it. Like I fell in love with it right away. Which is hilarious because I should have probably known years ago. We were in Manchester on tour in 2017, and there's a Dalek on the side of the road, and I hadn't watched Doctor Who yet. The guy the guitarist that was with us hadn't watched it, and Paul's just like, you guys, I'm like, no, we had nothing. Like, I'm so mad that I didn't know about it. But anyway, so we're so then I think my first favorite was Matt Smith, because I feel like he played someone with youthful energy who really did feel believably old, like 900 years old. Like I think he paired the like joy of the Doctor with the sadness of the Doctor in a way that felt really believable to me, and I feel like hasn't been done as well for me since then. Like I think he's the first guy that really got it. And then, but I will say, then Peter Capaldi, I hated him the first time I watched all the episodes. Like, what a jerk. I hate this guy. And then I watched him again, and I was like, oh, actually, he might be one of my new favorite Doctors. So I really like Peter Capaldi. I mean, I like all of them. There's no, like, bad Doctors, but I think those two are the ones that I felt, to me, are believably thousands of years old. Like, some of the other ones feel a little bit too human for me, or a little bit too, in the moment, and not with all this history behind them. And then in the older Doctors, obviously Tom Baker is fun, and whenever I discover new episodes, I'm like, oh yeah, he was good. But I also really like William Hartnell, like in terms of that. I mean, like that whole thing again, like an alien who's old and like just like not quite like figuring things out. I think he did a good job of that. And those episodes are, for being like, minus the one where they're climbing up a rock wall for the whole three episodes in a row or something. There's some that the pacing is a little slow for me sometimes, but overall they're really well made for being so low budget. And that's one thing that, kind of made me a little bummed about the Disney series, is it was so clearly not low budget that I was like, oh, was something lost? I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's okay. I mean, I don't like to criticize people's creative work too much because you know how hard it is to do anything, and then to have a jerk be like, that was stupid. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that, but there was something cool about how the low budget stuff ended up having like such a big impact. So the first couple of seasons of Doctor Who, I just think it's really interesting, especially if you watch or read about the history of the show. They weren't working with like huge budgets or even a good studios and stuff, and they still made something really memorable and creative and like powerful, and I think that's really cool. So those are, yeah, I'd say probably Matt Smith is always going to be partly the Christmas episodes he's in. Like every year at Christmas, starting about a month before, every like once a week we sit down and watch a couple of Christmas specials, and so that's like our new tradition or whatever. So I mean, he's got some of the best ones, and then Peter Capaldi has the other best ones, in my humble opinion. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But I would love to see. I loved Missy. Thought she was great. I liked Sasha Darwin a lot. Like I mean, some of the Masters are some of my favorite characters. So I don't know as much about the older Masters. So I gotta do some research on that. Are they evil feeling? Are they like actually pretty good?
Well, Roger Delgado is the master.
Yeah,
Okay.
Roger Delgado. Yeah.
So I should watch some with him. I don't think I've seen much.
Terror of the Autons is his first episode, and yes, you'll know who the master is 10 minutes into that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's fun to be able to talk about Doctor Who. We do the convention once a year because otherwise, basically, the second I mention Doctor Who, everybody's eyes glaze over and then they want to leave.
Not here. I always light up.
Right. You're making me want to go watch Doctor Who right now.
Well, maybe you should. It's a good Sunday evening activity, right?
The other episode we'll probably recommend with the master in is Damon's.
Damon's?
Yeah.
The Damon's, yes.
Yeah, the Damon's. Okay. I've never seen that one either. Okay.
That's the best unit story, a lot of people believe.
Oh, I like, and the early unit, is that a John Pertwee then?
John
Pertwee?
Yeah.
Okay,
John
cool.
And,
yeah,
well, we could probably recommend 100 different episodes.
Yeah, so. I know. Actually, so what's cute is I got my parents into it, and I made them a running list of like all the ones for the new Who series that they had to kind of watch. It was like 25 episodes or something to get them caught up so they could start with us for the reboot, like the new series on Disney. So it was really fun to pick. Like, it's hard to do though. I mean, man, I left out some solid ones.
Only 25.
It was hard.
Here, guys, go ahead and watch all of this and then let me know.
Yeah, no, that's literally what I did. I have a top 10, but it's like not good enough. Like 25 was like, okay, fine.
25, that's half of apartment.
Isn't that really bonkers? Yeah. So it's really fun to talk to you, but thank you so much for doing this.
No worries.
Gaelynn, thank you so much. It was nice to see you. Candyman,
nice
do you have any words of wisdom to take us out, or do I just push this red button? I forgot how to do it.
Enjoy your journey through time and space.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Be kind, never be cruel.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite quote.
Sweet.
One thing I do want to mention, in a couple of weeks, I'll be at Colchester Invasion, which is a charity Comic Con.
Oh, cool.
Where they basically convert the whole town into a Comic Con and raise money for charity, which goes to the local hospice. So if you're in Colchester in 5th of September, say hi, I'll be around the TARDIS. But they have fandoms of every type you can think of. They will have a Ghostbusters section, Disney Princesses section, Transformers section, and it's all outside in the town.
Oh, that's cool. I wish I was going to be there. Yeah, our Doctor Who convention in Minneapolis is called Console Room, and that's in January. So it's Minneapolis. We always bring these British guests to Minnesota in the middle of January, which is a real weird, it's an affordable time to host a conference, but they're always freezing. Yeah. One of them went on a hike. It was Ace, actually. Ace went on a hike. And with Tommy, Sarah Jane's nephew or whatever that is. And they went on a hike together and got lost. And it's like -1 million. And they didn't have the right clothes. and they were like, "Are we gonna die in Minnesota?" Basically, but they didn't. They made it back. So they had to get picked up. They called and they're like, "We don't know how to get back in. We're really cold." So so that's
All right.
January.
Sophie.
All right.
Yes. Well,
Gaelynn,
thanks.
we overran. We kept you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
It was really nice to see you again. Here, let me push this red button and see what it does. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers,
Thank you,
bye.
Gaelynn. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.